y'all? It's your boy, Ron Jovi, coming at you live from Oh, no. Where are we at, JD?
We're in the studio.
We're at ETW Studios at Ron Street, USA. That's right, the official name now. I got a special guest with me today, somebody you may not have seen too much of here lately. JD Ryzing is joining us today. We're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the power rankings. We got some questions in for JD. I've got some questions for JD. I kind of wanted to start it off, though. You just recently relocated from the cesspool of Clinton, Tennessee, to right here in Lenoir City. Tell us a little bit about that, JD.
That's right, Ron. I moved into a beautiful area called Rambling Acres.
That's nice.
It's very, very beautiful. It's 10 times better than Clinton will ever be.
Now, did you opt for the double wide or one of those new triple wides?
Oh, man, I went for the triple wide.
Triple wide, you can't beat that. That is living
absolutely.
The life of luxury.
Nice big bathtub in there.
Oh, the jets,
yeah.
jacuzzi.
Oh, yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
Top dollar.
That sounds amazing.
Top dollar.
You know, I like I said, Rambling Acres. It's a beautiful place. You can't beat it. Glad to have you here.
Absolutely.
In LC.
I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you. So, I guess first up, we'll just talk about these power rankings a little bit, okay?
Do we have to talk about the power rankings right now? I mean,
here's the thing.
The numbers are fudged.
I know they are. I have taken this up to BDC, talked about these numbers, and you know he had himself ranked very high the first week, but I think it's kind of come back to bite him a little bit this week or this month on the power rankings. I guess we could maybe just start off by saying you're not on there. I've lobbied for it. You've been out of action a little bit. I lobbied for you last month too when Cody Raines was above you, and you whooped his butt.
I did, absolutely.
I mean, 1, 2, 3. You know, everybody's like, well, you know, he injured JD Ryzing and he came out the top, but that's a bunch of crap. Nobody's buying into that. All that matters is the W's and the L's, and you got the W.
That's right.
So,
absolutely.
So first up, Mullett Club member, the man that is going to be facing Andrew Boyd on the 29th for the ETW Championship, the premier choice, Brian Jeffries. He somehow managed to move down 2 spots, but I am the commissioner, August 29th, so I made it happen. I said, Brian, you're the only singles guy on my team, so you get rewarded with the title shot. And he's been practicing, all right? A lot of people, you know, they say, oh, he's a karate guy, all this stuff, but he has an extensive MMA background. Anybody that's all hyped up about this Ronda Rousey fight and all, they better get down here and see this guy fight, because I think he could take her. I really do, and I think it would be in less than 34 seconds.
Yeah, I've been in the ring with Brian Jeffries, and let me tell you, those kicks that he gives to your back, those are no joke.
I mean you can hear him. You can hear him down here at Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
They're so powerful.
Oh, I can feel it now.
And that's the thing. I mean, the one thing about the champion Andrew Boyd is that he's very resilient. Like I have seen him. I thought he was dead against Cadillac Cowboy. I thought he had literally died right there in the ring, and he somehow kicked out and got the win. But the thing is Brian Jeffries is going to knock him out. You can't kick out if you're knocked out. Right. It just doesn't happen. So we spent enough time on the future champ. Let's go up to number 9. This is probably a sore spot for you too. Cody the Tornado Raines. He moved up 1 spot somehow. Not sure how that happened. Again, I think there's some kind of tomfoolery going on. Fudging numbers, exactly right. So what do you have? You had your last match was against him. So what can you tell us about him and why he should or should not be at number 9?
He absolutely should not be at number 9. He pulled an illegal elbow on me that broke my ribs in our match.
Yeah.
And he should be fired. He should be gone. I don't know why he's still here, but BDC's keeping him around to keep me down.
Well, you know what? There's a new sheriff in town right now.
That's right.
Your boy Ron Jovi. So I might have something. I might cook up a little something special for him on the 29th. See what I can do for him there. All right.
Great.
Next up, I take care of my people. So next up, we have Tristan Ramsey. He moved down 1 spot to number 8. Had a solid effort with the rabid pitbull Matt Raby in the Fan Wars match. I know you were watching from backstage there. Something weird happened, though. I don't know what's going on, but Tristan Ramsey and Matt Raby were taking each other to Chop City like they're known for. And they got turned around and they threw. This was awesome.
It was the greatest thing ever.
So you saw this one.
Beautiful, absolutely.
Put BDC in the corner and took him to Chop City. Over and over again. And he cried and kicked them both to the curb. And they both left. And I could notice that the party animal Dan was a little upset. I don't know what was going on there, but definitely need to talk to my guys. I've given them the couple weeks off after winning the Fan Wars match. So I'm going to have to touch base with them, see what's going on there. I'm pretty happy about number 7 because this guy came in at number 5. He invented the power rankings and put himself at number 5, and he didn't wrestle, and he still dropped 2 rankings. He's down to number 7. That's Big Daddy Collins. I know you probably have some stuff to say about Big Daddy Collins. I don't think there's anything that I haven't said about him, so I'm going to let you take the floor on this one.
Big Daddy Collins. I don't have a whole lot to say about him, except he better hope my ribs don't heal at all, because one day I'll see him in the ring again.
Yeah?
You hear that?
I'm looking
coming
forward
after
to
you
that.
one day.
Well, I guess that's all we need to say about that. Number 6, I'm pretty happy about this. The Ewok, Aiden Brady, down 2 spots to number 6. Moving on down. He's still not quite low enough to where he deserves to be. I'm thinking somewhere around 10, or in an official power rankings, like the others receiving votes, he should be on there with like the 6 votes from the fans that he has. So I'm not even going to mention this. I've got something special lined up for him on the 29th. You're not going to want to miss it. Number 5, probably the biggest fall out of everybody on the power rankings right now, is Cadillac Cowboy. He's down 4 spots. He was the number 1 on the power rankings last month, and now he's all the way down here at number 5. He lost the match against Andrew Boyd, like I said earlier. Great match, well fought. He did everything he could to overcome Andrew Boyd, but it just didn't pan out for him this time.
Yep, Cadillac. Man, I like Cadillac. You know, I've got nothing bad to say about the guy. Really don't know a whole lot about his in-ring style. I've never been in the ring with him before, so I can't really say too much about that.
Yeah, I'm sure Daddy Mac has some words to say about this. Though. He's probably in a fit right now, wherever he is. He's probably driving to Chuck E. Cheese or something. I don't know. So number 4 down 1 spot, Hairband. Didn't see Hairband at all for ETW at Fan Wars. Mm-hmm. But he did move down 1 spot. I think he may be in action coming up on the 29th. I may have a spot for him. We'll find out. Number 3, the most meteoric rise, member of the Mullett Club, the super heavyweight sensation, Brandon Christopher. Moved up to number 3. He's just about where he needs to be in that number 1 contender spot. So I'm hopefully, with my plans that I have for the 29th, we can actually bump him up.
Let's do that.
And get him a title shot here pretty soon.
Brandon Christopher, that's my boy.
He's the man.
We go way back.
Really?
I don't know what's going on here lately with him and the anomaly, but I don't know exactly.
This is a judgment-free zone here. All
right. I mean,
Love wins.
Exactly.
And speaking of Love winning, Love is also undefeated in tag team action right now.
Exactly. Exactly. The greatest tag team to come out of East Tennessee
ever
is born this way.
Born this way. That's right. So next up, we have Shane Andrews at number 2. He stayed flat right at number 2. We talked about this on episode 3 for the preview for Fan Wars a little bit. We think was trying to play some mind games, trying to get the NWA TV championship off of Shawn Schultz, and then turn around and take the ETW championship off of one of Shawn Schultz's proteges in not Aiden Brady, but Andrew the Benchmark Boyd. As we know, that may have backfired a little bit on him. Still a solid number 2. He still has a guaranteed title shot at some point in the future. Whenever he decides to do that, we haven't heard from him yet on when he would like to do that, but he does have that out there waiting. And the reason it bit Shane Andrews a little bit is because the new number 1 in the power rankings is Sean Schultz. He's undefeated in ETW. He's only had 2 matches, but when you're undefeated, you're undefeated.
That's right.
So we need to see this play out a little bit as well. I'm interested to see how this is going to go going forward. So we got some mailbag. We got some questions. A little bit of short notice. I'm glad you can make it down here. I've been dying to have you on the show. I'm not going to lie. When BDC said, "Hey, Jovi, I want you to come out here and do this ETW this week. I want you to put on a show," I was like, my first guest has got to be JD Ryzing, hands down. And it's taken a while to get you here, but finally we got you here. I'm glad you're here. We did get a lot of questions based off the short turnaround time, so we'll just kind of go ahead and dive right into that if you don't mind. So the first question comes from T. Armstrong, and he writes in, "Why do you, emphasis on you, think you have not been given the proper respect and opportunity that you deserve here in ETW?"
You know, I really don't know why I'm not given the proper respect that I deserve. I am the greatest superstar to come out of ETW. As a matter of fact, I think I'm the greatest superstar, in the world. So I don't understand. Maybe there's a jealousy issue.
I kind of noticed that. I've been getting a lot of that from the old management as well, where
Right.
they try to belittle me on social media, which is, quite frankly, I'm the master of social media.
Right.
There's nobody out there better at it than I am, and he's trying to outfox me. It's just not going to work. So I think I see that common theme of jealousy coming along here, coming from this building. So good answer there. Next up, T. Armstrong also wants to know how it feels to be the obviously superior athlete in a stable of schmucks.
Well, I mean, I know I can beat everybody, so that's a plus.
Well, that's a good one.
I feel like a very, very big fish in a small pond. One day, maybe we can get rid of some of those guys in the back and put in some real competition.
That's what I'm thinking. Now, speaking of stables, I know I had my 5 members of the Mullett Club, all right? But I also saw you come out and celebrate our victory with us.
That's right.
So I brought with me the super secret Keys of the Kingdom, the Mullett Club playbook. Can I go ahead and put some plays in here for you, JD Ryzing?
Sure, go ahead.
So we're making this official. JD Ryzing is going to be a member of the Mullett Club.
That's right.
Excellent. I'm going to get you a shirt. We'll get it set up. The stable grows. The greatness continues right here on Ron Street. You heard it here first. So we'll go ahead and go back to the questions here. I'm a little excited. Maybe you should read this one because I don't know if I can talk right now.
All right, well, number 3. If you had to pick one opponent in ETW to have your best match with, who would it be? Well, that's a simple question. It would be Andrew Boyd, and the only reason is because he has the title right now, and I want that thing. I want to take it off his waist and put it around my beautiful waist.
Can't argue.
Andrew Boyd.
That's a great answer. Let me ask you this though,
Okay.
because am I correct in assuming you have not been medically cleared to come back?
I have not been medically cleared yet.
Okay, so if you can paint a target on one person in the locker room's back right now to be your first match back, who do you want that to be? Who do you have a point to prove against right now?
Well, that's obvious. That's BDC.
I think I could get behind that. I've got my legal team reading over these contracts for the commissioner for a day. All right, I'm looking for any loopholes I can to give the people what they want. And if I can get around that somehow, I will do everything in my power to make that the first match back. Because that's what I want to see, and it's because it's what I want to see. I know it's what everybody else wants.
It's what everybody wants to see.
Exactly. So, speaking of BDC,
Yeah.
I got a suspicious question here from someone BD Collins on the email today, and it says, "Do you really think you can hit the owner of ETW in the head with a?" And I'm reading this correctly. I know it sounds weird. I know I have people think I say stuff wrong all the time, but I say it exactly how I mean to. With a ring bell hammer and get away with it.
Well, nobody can prove that because there's no footage.
There is no footage. A lot of footage has been coming up missing recently.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's all stuff that maybe the Big Daddy Collins would be ashamed for people to see.
And even if I did hit BDC in the head with a ring bell hammer, yes, I do think that I can get away with it. And why? Because I'm the top superstar in ETW. They can't afford to lose me.
You make a very good point there. And have you had any action come from this at all so far?
No, not at all.
Very, very telling and very compelling argument there, my friend. I'm going to go with you on that. So lastly, we have a question that came in from, and this question, I've been meaning to get to this, all right, and I keep forgetting, I keep putting it off, but this question comes from Spencer, also known as @CleveAllander on Twitter. He is a Twitter legend, all right? All the graphics that we have here, everything you see is thanks to this man. He does amazing work. He did these shirts here. He's done a couple more shirts that are going to be coming out soon. You're not going to want to miss those. But I just wanted to give a shout out to @CleveAllander. Go follow him. Love him. He does so much stuff for us here at ETW this week. I can't thank him enough. But he wants to write in and ask, BDC sent ETW's newest talent, Billy Bob Youngblood, out to greet you in the ring at Fan Wars. What are your thoughts on this?
Billy Bob Youngblood. Billy Bob.
Isn't that the dude that was at Showbiz, wasn't it? Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese or something like that.
So at first, when I got to look at this guy, I was a little intimidated. I'm not gonna lie. He's a big guy.
He's a big dude.
He's a
I
big
can
dude.
do that.
And then I thought about it for a second. This guy's got to be stupid. I mean,
he did
you're
come
stepping
out-
in the ring with JD Ryzing.
He came out dressed up like a lumberjack, and it was 1,200 degrees in here.
I know. I don't
You
know
can't
what's
be
up
smart and do that. So, I mean, do you have any words for Billy Bob Youngblood at all?
Billy Bob, it doesn't matter how big you are. It just doesn't matter because when you step in to the East Tennessee Wrestling ring inside the house of ETW, you're standing in the house of the rising sun. And believe me, brother, if you're not rising, then you're falling. And that's it.
All right. Well, hopefully he will learn by those words, and maybe I think he probably picked off a little bit more than he could chew coming at the head superstar right now.
Oh, that's right.
Of ETW right out of the gate. So I don't know who gave him that idea. I have ideas on probably who told him that was a good idea, but it's not. Okay, Billy Bob, just take a step back, work your way up. Start with Aiden Brady. That's a good starter course.
Maybe he can learn to do math first, and then he can step into the ring.
There, we could do that too. Yeah,
Maybe.
This is what I was telling Aiden the other day. I was telling Aiden, he was in here building my office, and he kept messing everything up. I said, measure twice, cut once. That's the way to do it. All right, so we're just about out of time here. Do you have anything you'd like to add tonight, JD, before we get out of here?
Not at all. I think I'm pretty well, you know.
Okay, well, I do have one other question I'd like to ask
Absolutely.
people. I kind of go with a theme for these questions.
Okay,
It's the mythical tag team, okay? So you got 3 people.
Okay.
All right, so I used your last name. I came up with Tara Ryzing from WCW.
All right.
I don't know if everybody knows who that was Triple H before he became Triple H and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, okay? Next up, we have AJ Styles. I went with him because he has the initials, all right? I also went with TL Hopper because he has the initials, and it reminds me of Cody Rhodes because he was a plumber, all right? So, if you had to pick one of these gentlemen to go against the other 2 in a tag match, who do you pick and why?
Oh, man. I think I would pick Tara Ryzing.
That's a great idea. I mean, I can't argue with that logic. He is the heir apparent.
That's right.
To the biggest. It's not a wrestling company; it's a sports entertainment company. But he knows what he's doing. So yeah. I don't think you could go wrong with that. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. He's a great wrestler. I love watching him. TL Hopper is a plumber. So good shot there. Anything else you'd like to add tonight? I'm out. We've got the Ron Jovi. Actually, hang on. You have to say this correctly. It's ETW presents Ron Jovi Spoils of War coming up on August 29th. We've got a loaded card coming up. I can't really get into it too much. I have a big plan considering Aiden Brady, though. You can rest assured, if you don't like Aiden Brady, you're going to love this show, all right? Also, as I've talked about at length, we've got the Premier Choice Brian Jeffries going up for his a title shot with Andrew the Benchmark Boyd. We've got a couple other matches we're working on. Can't really get too much into it now, but join us next week for the preview show. I'll have more information there. It'll be me, BDC, and Captain America coming at you with a more in-depth preview of the show. Thanks. Take her greasy.